This is how I met my brother.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to How I Met My Brother podcast. My name is Jeff Warchalik, and this is my beautiful, luscious, amazing man of a co-host named Jacob M. Cody.
That's my name.
How you doing?
I'm doing great, Jeff. How about yourself?
I'm fine.
You're not doing you're not doing so great. You walked in my apartment and you had the look of defeat on your face.
You know, just today I feel super vulnerable.
Oh,
I guess.
Oh man, it's about to be a deep episode now.
Yeah, just like the last one.
Yeah.
No, I'm really fine. I'm just messing around. It was a fine day. It was just average. It was really very
Average
lukewarm.
day.
It was average. It was meh. Nothing to speak of. That was good. Nothing to speak of. That was bad. It was fine. How was your day?
See, my day was kind of the same. It started off pretty bad and it's got better as the time went on. But along with my day, I have an update.
Okay.
A big update about our arch nemesis, Josh, at Town Fair Tire.
Yes.
The clown. The circus is back in town. And
so Town Fair Tire still in business?
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
And what I mean by that is, so I'll talk about my weekend a little bit.
Yeah. Let's skip to your
But So, but I had to preface a little bit. So this weekend I went to Florida, and on Saturday I left, and on the way to it's my girlfriend. I was visiting my girlfriend.
Gosh darn it! You announced it before I did.
I know. I didn't want to, but I didn't know how to
announce it.
I didn't know how to explain it.
All right. Well, sidebar. You have a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Again, another girlfriend.
Your boy's cuffed.
Just in time for cuffing season.
That's right, baby. So
nice. Congratulations, by the way. You're
you.
back in the game.
You want to shake on camera right now?
Back in the game.
We're back.
I'm very happy for you.
We're back, baby. So, anyways.
Yep, you visited her in
I was
Florida. But she goes to college in Florida.
She goes to college in Florida. I was going to go visit her. So I went with her family. And so I was going to drive to her family's house. And then we were going to all drive together to the airport. And so on. And on the way there, I was just driving through the lovely town of North Grosvenor. And you know what they like to do is they love to do construction on the road. Even though the road had nothing wrong with it, they like to tear it up and then put some new crappy road down so that they can tear it up in about 2 more years.
You know, I've noticed that.
Yeah. So I'm not bitter about it or anything. I'm just, it's good to see that, our tax dollars are going towards a worthy cause there.
Yes.
Anyways, so I'm driving down this road with construction, and they don't really mark, where the raised surfaces are. And
they've I agree, they've done a really bad job at that.
Yeah, very bad. Like, they'll put it over, like, this small little manhole covering.
Yep.
Where, like, I barely would hit a bump. But then, when I'm turning right onto a road and there's, like, a foot drop, they're not going to do that. And I'm just driving the speed limit. I'm honestly driving a little slower because of all the construction.
Yeah.
And I hit that new road where it's raised and popped my tire again. So... it was on the way there. I was very angry. I called Jeff. It was not a good time.
Wait, can you set out the timeline for this? This is what day and what time is this? When do you have to be where you're going? All that.
Okay, so this is Saturday.
Yep.
And I have to be at their house at 3 p.m.
to leave for the airport.
Okay. It's probably 2:15, 2:20.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's 2:20. I'm about 25 minutes away. No, 20 minutes from their house. But I wanted to stop, and I was going to get a roast beef sandwich that was near the fairgrounds.
Nice.
And so I had time for that, so I was like, I'm going to stop. I hit it, pops my tire, and I'm like just thinking like, man, like, what do I do? Because, I don't want to ruin the rim. But like, I don't really have time to change the tire right now. And I also only have a donut. So I can only go like 30 miles an hour once I do change it, if I do.
I thought you were talking about what you ate that day. You only had a donut, so you couldn't go much longer without any more food.
No, but that's actually probably pretty true as well.
You usually have donuts for breakfast on Saturdays, so.
Yes, I probably did. I can't remember, to be honest. But, no, a donut as in, like, it wasn't my spare. It was like a donut, so it was smaller.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so, and I'm just on the Thompson Dam, and I'm just like, man, like, what am I going to do? It ended up being all right. I made it to my parents' house. I risked it for the biscuit.
Nice.
Made it to my parents' house, which is right down the road from there. And my brother's in Thailand right now visiting some friends, so I just took his keys and took his car.
That was clutch.
And whatever. So, anyways, big inconvenience. I kind of was just like, I'll deal with it when I get back.
Yeah.
On my trip. Fast forward to today. My dad, so generously, was like, you work, I'm working from home. I'll take the tire and I'll drop it off. He took it off my car. And he's going to drop it off at Town Fair Tire to get fixed. And then pick it up on his way back and put it back on my car.
Today.
Okay. Great guy. Love that guy.
Yep.
So he brings it over there, and I just get a text from him that says, call me.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh, crap. So I call him, and, or actually, no, the first one said, can you chat? Which is kind of funny because it's my father. But
yeah, I cannot hear him saying that.
Yeah, it doesn't really say that. But, so can you chat? So I call him, and he's like, yeah, and he was just getting the information. So I sent him the warranty that I have that I've already used like twice because these tires suck. Yeah. So I sent him over, and then he says, like, I call him. He's just like, all right, I got the information. Then he goes in, and then he says, call me. And then I'm like explaining, and he's like, yeah, I just dropped it off, and, they said that the tire was free, and I was like, oh, good. And then he's like, but they said they're going to charge us for the labor. And I was like, are you kidding me? And, like, I'm looking at the warranty sheet in my hand, and it literally says, if you have a tire fail due to a road hazard that is not repairable, meaning it can't patch it, Town Fair Tire, and then in all caps, will replace the tire free of charge. End of sentence, and then down low it just says, like, vandalism is not considered a road hazard, blah, 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 blah.
But it doesn't say anything about needing to charge labor?
Nope, nothing.
Wow.
Nothing. It just, below that, all it says is what a road hazard is. So basically what happened, like nails, pothole, glass, curbs, anything. So, I'm like, what? So then I'm, like, livid. Right? And I'm on the phone with my dad, and I was like, who'd you speak to? Guess whose name? Freaking Josh at Town Fair Tire. He's like, oh yeah, his name was Josh, and immediately my blood was just boiling, so hot that you could have put some vegetables in there and boiled them right up, or like it could have made soup or whatever, like mac and cheese. My blood was boiling. You could have done anything with that. It was so hot.
The monster that will never die.
Yeah.
Josh at Town Fair Tire.
Cut one head off, two heads grow back. Freaking Josh, bro.
Dude's a snake.
So anyways, I'm like, Dad, this guy's a clown. Don't take anything. And he was like, my dad's like, oh, well, like, I had to leave, so I just paid it. And I was like, frick. So I'm like so mad. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to call corporate.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna, demand.
Good.
And so I did. So I call it. I get this nice young lady. Her name's Lizzie.
Okay.
She picks up. She's like, "How you doing? This is Town Fair Tire. How can we assist you today?" And I was like, "Listen." I didn't say it like that, but I did. I did sound very mad. I was like, honestly, the people in your Dayville I think location. I said, I was like, people in your Dayville location are trash, and they don't know how a warranty works. Obviously, because my dad dropped my tire off, and I have this warranty that literally says all the stuff that I already mentioned, and that they still charged him tax and labor. And she's like, oh well, let me get that started for you. And I was basically like, I need my money back. Like I need it.
Yeah.
And I gave this specific amount. She's like, okay, I see that here. And then it's all nice. She's like, I'm gonna send you a check, and I'm like, oh, this is easy. But then she comes back and she's like, well, just so you know, the warranty is on the back of the invoice usually, and it shows that the labor and the tax are not included in the warranty. And I'm like after she said she was giving me the credit, I kind of checked out. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna get back to work now. So I'm not gonna argue with her.
Yeah.
But I kind of explained later, and I was like, well, you know, it's funny because I'm holding the warranty sheet. You know, the sheet that you get when you buy the warranty, and there's nothing on that. So like, wouldn't it be on there? And she's like, no, I get the confusion. I'm just letting you know for next time. And I'm like, okay, whatever.
Oof.
So then, and so I was kind of like annoyed with that, but whatever. So then I'm like, you know what? I have an invoice right here in I have like these little folders, you know, for my stuff. And I pull one out and I look on the back. The back of the invoice says the same exact thing as the warranty sheet. Nothing about labor. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not even going to argue if this happens again, which it probably will in about a month and a half.
It will, yeah.
But, yeah, anyways, Josh at Town Fair Tire, again, if you're listening to this, you're dead meat, pal.
We're going to put him in a ring with a wild bull or something like that.
Yeah, with all red on. That's the color of Town Fair Tire. Just wear your work shirt, buddy. You probably get more work done in that ring than anywhere else.
Ooh, got him.
Mic drop.
Yikes. Yeah.
But that's enough about that.
That's terrible.
Yeah, I just had to give you guys that update and let you know that once again, the tires have failed me.
When next time comes, we're gonna have to do something about this as a unit.
I'm thinking about producing an attack ad. You know how like when you're going against someone politically, you're like, you set up an attack ad against them. I think I'm gonna produce an attack. I'm gonna put real money into it. The budget's gonna be like $10,000, and I'm gonna make an attack ad against Town Fair Tire.
Oh my god!
Specifically, Josh. And all I can picture is at the end of the video, there's just a picture of Josh, and then a red like a circle with an X through it. It's just gonna plop on the screen, and it's gonna go gray, and it's like, "Don't go to Town Fair Tire."
Oh my! I'm dying. That or like a commercial on TV, one of those that are like 10 seconds, like. If you have had a bad experience with Town Fair Tire in the Dayville, Connecticut location, call 1-800-SUE Town Fair Tire now.
You are what is it? They say like you're eligible for a payment now or something, whatever. Like you're eligible for that. Oh man. I'm building a case, bro.
I was gonna say like this could be a real thing. This could actually happen. I think we should start the legwork with this, with getting some numbers, getting some people behind us that have also had experiences like this.
You know, this reminds me of Better Call Saul.
Taking care of them. That's all I can think
I
of.
know. That's what I knew
Saul.
when you started saying that. I was like, oh, you're talking about Better Call Saul. Right? I just know it.
We need Saul Goodman's.
We need Slippin' Jimmy out here.
Slippin' Jimmy.
I already got my boy. Jimmy on the case. My father. So
Jimmy squared.
We'll just call him Slippin' Jimmy from now on. I
guess. We should. Now I'm gonna call him Slippin' Jimmy. Oh man, that's
all right. Well, enough about that. But that's my day. That's kind of how my day started. So from there, it was only up from there. You know.
You know what's? This is like a sidebar. It's about cars. So it goes. On my way here, I was rushing a little bit. It was dark, and I was going around. You know that, like on the highway when you're going north, right before the Killingly exit, there's a big left-hand turn where if you take the right exit, you go into Rhode Island.
Yeah.
So it's kind of blind, a little bit. And once you get to that corner, it was dark out, like I said. So it was terrifying. All I could see were the headlights of a car pointed at me, and you can't see the other side of the highway from there. So it's not like I'm seeing the cars on the other side of the road.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, this is it. I'm about to die. I'm going to get into a head-on collision. Turns out we got into a car accident. There were two cars in a car accident. No. Not
I thought you said, turns out I got into a car accident. I was like, wait a second. How are you here?
It was terrifying, though. Like, seeing another car looking like it's coming at you, because I was going like 70 miles an hour.
So they crashed right in front of you?
Well, they were crashed.
They were already crashed.
They had literally just crashed, like, a minute prior.
Man.
But I come around the corner, and all I see since it's dark is the headlights pointed at me.
Yeah.
And so
that's like a hazard.
It was a hazard. It was a really bad place for an accident.
Yeah.
And it was going to stop, but I knew that I had a really important podcast episode to record, so I figured, they're fine.
You're doing them better by being here.
Yeah,
for sure.
Exactly.
Because they're probably listeners of the pod. And
I think
if you would have stopped, they'd have been like, "Wait, Jeff, you need to get there, bro."
From How I Met My Brother.
we have to listen to tomorrow's pod.
But no, I absolutely would have stopped. But everyone was standing outside of the car talking. Actually, they looked. I should have stopped because they were arguing. That would have been fun.
That could have been a good story, though.
Yeah. If I wasn't a little bit late, I may have stopped anyway. But everyone looked like they were fine. They were just kind of getting at each other a little bit.
Just a little angry. Yeah.
And you know what this makes me think of, actually? I think about this all the time.
Oh,
when I'm listening to something questionable on the radio or on my phone or whatever, like music that most people don't like. For example, today on the way here, I was listening to Nickelback.
Oh.
Animals by Nickelback. And I always think, man, what if I get into a car accident right now, I go unconscious or I die, and then all that's playing at full volume is Animals by Nickelback on loop. What is EMS going to think about me?
Oh, they're gonna think horrible things about you. I've thought about that too.
And like, think about the guy that has to, like, they get on the scene and they hear like that song just blaring and they have to go turn the radio off. It's a weird thought. I don't know.
You're just like, man, this loser. Maybe you think that if you were close to death and they got you and they heard that song, they'd be like, all right, let this one go. We don't have to tell anyone.
Oh, we don't have to tell. Just give it like 5 minutes. We'll be gone in no time.
And you're just like gasping. You're just like, help. And they're like, man, if it was any other song, even if it was Rockstar by Nickelback, we would have let you live. But Animal, no.
Yeah. It's to the point sometimes where I'm like, I could just change the song.
Yeah, you need to.
And I don't need to listen to that anymore. So, yeah.
I think about that sometimes when I stop at a stoplight and I'm listening to a song.
Yeah.
I turn the volume down because I'm like, I don't want this guy next to me to hear this.
Even when or when I'm like in a residential neighborhood and I have a loud song playing and it's something like most people don't like, I turn it down. Or I change it.
That's funny.
I'm too self-conscious, I guess.
I feel that.
Yeah, I don't know. So, your weekend.
Oh.
What happened? How was it? We haven't really talked.
Yeah,
so,
first
highlights, whatever.
I just want to mention something real quick.
Yes.
Right before that, on Friday, I went to the Woodstock Fair, as did you.
Yep.
But before you got there, I was walking around with my mom, and
nice.
we were just, having a good time, getting some good food. Fair food is my favorite. But I was walking through the fair, and I just thought, like, there was just this funny thought. So, it's like an agricultural farming fair, but obviously now it's like more taken over by rides or whatever.
Yeah.
But they still have like the cow barn and everything. So I'm walking through the cow barn, and I'm just like, looking at the cows, and they're just like, it's just, I feel like I'm living the farm life, like poop everywhere.
Yeah.
Cows are just standing up and peeing. You're just like, what? And I'm looking at people like walking by, and they're like ew, like cows.
Is that what they're saying?
Yeah, or little kids like, oh mom, there's poop on the floor, and you know, whatever. Like, that guy's, and I was walking by. And there was this probably like 14, 15-year-old farming kid, like probably showing his cow.
Nice.
And he's just sitting there like leaning on his rake, and you can tell in his eyes, you're just like, I just looked at him like looking at all these kids like saying like ew and stuff, and I could just tell like that he was probably like, yeah, they don't know the farm life. they don't know what this is about.
These Yankees up here.
And I don't know, I just thought it was fun. I thought about it, and you could just tell like he wasn't like necessarily like judging, but he was just like city folk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like I just thought it was funny. I was like, oh man, this guy is like, I don't know. And we kind of made eye contact, and I kind of just gave him like a, not really like a head nod, because like farm people don't really know the nod.
Yeah, they don't.
I kind of just went like, I don't know, I just did like this, like I pretended like I had like a piece of grain in my mouth, and I was just like kind of gave him like a snarl smirk, and he kind of understood, and he was like, you did it right back to me, and I was like, yeah.
Wow.
I know the farm life.
I guess that's the right move.
Yeah. I thought I'd mention that. To me, it was hilarious. I just like thought about this kid, this like farm kid. Like, I don't know. I feel like when you grow up on the farm, you just like think that you're like invincible.
Like, did you grow up on a farm?
No, not myself.
Okay.
I'm just saying, like, I knew kids in high school that were like so like even though they were like skinny and small or whatever, like they grew up on a farm and they wore like a flannel.
Yeah.
You'd be like they could be like, oh, you know, I could definitely like take this guy in a fight, or I could outlift that person, and people would be like, no, like, look at you, dude, you're so small, and they'd be like, I grew up on a farm. And that was like the flex in high school, especially in Woodstock.
Oh yeah.
Like, oh, this is disgusting. Yeah, you don't even know about dip. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like
the kids that had two outfits all year.
Yeah.
One was work boots, Carhartts, a flannel shirt, and then a totally bent brim hat with grease and dirt on it.
With the fishing hook shoved up there.
Yeah, for the winter. And then for the summer, the spring, it was work boots, Carhartt, an old greasy t-shirt, and the same hat.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, and they just like... Yeah, like these are the type of kids that are like chewing sunflower seeds to quit smoking at like age 13. You know what I mean? And like, you know what? I respect it because it's like they're OG. You know, now you see like hipsters and like just like normal people wearing Carhartt stuff, and I just look at them and I'm like, these guys are fake. Like,
I know. I was talking about that yesterday. Actually.
Yeah.
Yep. Or like Timberland boots.
Yeah.
Same thing.
But like the biggest thing for me is like the Carhartt beanie. You know how like everybody has that now, and like it's like a cool thing. Like people who would like wear like Air Jordan like 1s are like wearing Carhartt beanies. And in my head I'm just like, man, in high school, like the dude that wore the Carhartt beanie was like the kid who had, like you said, like the Carhartt jacket, the jeans, the old boots, and that was like every day.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Anyways, the fair. It was good. It was a good time. But I went to the fair. Jeff and I hung out. We had a good time. You had fun? I need some affirmation here. Did we have a good time?
No, we didn't. Yeah, no, it was a fun. I liked the fair a lot. I could only go on Friday, which was kind of a bummer because I wanted to go.
Yeah,
at least one other day, like Sunday or Monday. But I was at a bachelor party the rest of the weekend.
That's fun.
That was a lot of fun. Yeah,
it looked fun.
My friend Dan, he's getting married on Saturday.
He's getting hitched.
So that's exciting. We had a great time, and you know what I figured out too. So we booked an Airbnb in Mystic. Super nice place. Everybody had their own bedroom except for one person, but he had the couch and he's fine.
He's fine.
A really nice place, nice yard, fire pit, all that. And we got there on Saturday evening, and we didn't leave at all until we had to check out on Monday. We were there, we, ate, played games, stuff like that the whole time. We didn't go anywhere. Whereas for bachelorette parties, girls, they always have to be doing something. Yeah. Like they're going out and having a good time at restaurants or, on boats and whatnot. I don't know what they do.
Yeah. But like guys, doing makeup and pillow fights and and talking about boys,
weird stuff.
Yeah,
but guys just need so much less.
Oh,
like to have a good time. We didn't spend any money except for like on food and stuff that we got delivered. We didn't even go to a restaurant,
which is like what the money should be spent on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like that's why I'm like I understand that like riding in a limo is cool.
Yeah,
but like I'd rather take that money. Pile into somebody's freaking Honda Accord and just go buy some really good food. You know what I mean?
See, I feel the same way.
I've always thought that. Yeah. I think in life in general. Like when I used to live, I still live alone in my apartment. This one's a little bit better furnished. But there was a time in my life where when I first moved out and I was living in Putnam, like my TV stand was like a foldable table that my dad gave me, put my TV on there
Mm-hmm.
and my Xbox, and then I got my I won this camping chair at my work, and I just put that in front of it, and I sat there, and that was my living room, and it was comfy.
Yeah,
I had a good time.
that's all you needed.
And people come over and they're like, "Dude, are you okay? Like, do you need money?" And I'm like, "No,
I'm happy like
I need
this.
my chair,
Mm-hmm.
my TV. That's it. Why do I need this fancy TV stand when I just can put it on this table that I got for free?"
Yeah.
But girls are like, "No, no, we need to put the tapestry up.
Mm.
Oh no, we gotta get this weird looking moose with a scarf and put it in the corner." You know what I mean? And the reason I say that is because my roommate's girlfriend got this weird looking moose with a scarf and like put him on our like end table in the living room and like to decorate, and I was like, "What the crap is this?"
Our version of that is a monkey that's doing yoga. A golden monkey figurine that's doing yoga.
Yeah, I just I get it. You want things to look good. Like I'm just not. I can enjoy things without that.
Yeah. I mean, that I don't... as I get older, I'm less of what you're talking about and more of... It'd be nice to have things furnished well and whatnot.
No, like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm glad I have a couch now.
Yeah.
And, like, a big comfy chair.
For
stuff
sure.
like that. But, yeah.
Yeah, like my bachelor party, we didn't really do much. Except the first day we did golf and the go-karts and whatnot, which was a blast. But the next day, we just chilled, really. We did walk around town a little bit, but, and we were just perfectly content just hanging out, telling stories, playing games, playing some cards and whatnot, having a fire.
Jacuzzi. Throwing the football a little bit. Just guy stuff,
Yeah, guy stuff.
Big guy over here.
That's me.
But anyways,
your weekend.
Was that a fun weekend? Rate it on a 1 to 10.
It was up there. It was up there. It was a good time.
9.75.
Yeah, it was up there.
All right.
It was up there. It was a really good time. It was up there.
Good.
For sure. I had my own room, and
good.
that's big for me. As
that's
like
nice.
I need my own space.
No, that's nice.
I can't really do without it, and I really prefer my own bathroom. I only shared mine with one other guy though, so it was okay, and he was fairly clean.
That's good.
So
that's good.
But after and during, I took 5 showers in the span of 24 hours. I don't know how.
Wait, why?
I don't know, and this doesn't really relate to anything. I'm just saying.
You were just like, you know what, guys? Give me a second. Feeling a little greasy.
I don't know. Guys are so dirty, man. Like, I loved the time we spent together. It was a great time. But, like, guys are dirty. Like, I was happy at the end of the weekend to get away from that.
Oh, yeah.
And to...
Oh, you mean after the bath you took 5 showers?
No, part of it was when I was there. I think I took 2 showers while I was there, 1 more when I got back home that day, and then 2 more the next day.
Man, you're a clean boy now.
I mean, when you're lifting weights all day, you gotta take a lot of showers or whatever.
Yeah, when you're big buff boy, you need to be clean boy too.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I don't know. That's my complaint about guys, though. They're so dirty.
Yeah.
I don't know. I could never...
Not a big guy.
No,
I'm a big guy.
I get along... Generally, I get along with girls much better than I get along with guys. But,
Little casual wink at the camera there.
Yeah.
I like it.
But these guys that I spent the weekend with were awesome. I had a great time. And Dan is, he only lives like 8 minutes away from us now that they moved, and we're spending a lot of time together. He's really cool. Steve-O, cool guy, and the other guys I didn't know super well, but after that weekend,
you grow close.
Yeah. So your weekend good?
Well, let me tell you some good stuff here. So, like I said, visiting my girlfriend in Florida.
Yep.
And it was good. It was really good. It was. We got on the flight, no delays or anything. It was good. We actually, the funny thing is,
what'd you fly?
flew Frontier. So it was really cheap,
That's good.
But actually, no, like big complications. But on Saturday, like it was like kind of a roller coaster. So like, her parents booked the flights, and her mom, who actually was flying to us on Sunday, because she's a hairdresser and she was doing a wedding on Saturday, so she couldn't come with us on Saturday.
Nice.
So she came Sunday, but she like had booked the tickets, or so I thought. And so I'm like sitting there, and she sends a text like in a group chat, and it's like, "Hey, like, flight's delayed until 9. We were supposed to board at we were supposed to leave at 7 p.m. But she's like, it's delayed till 9." And I'm like, oh man, that kind of stinks. We'll get in like really late then, because it's like a 2.5 hour flight. So I'm like, oh man. Then I'm like, like I want to know like exactly what time. So I go on the app, and it says like on time, and I'm like, oh, that's a little weird, but maybe it's just not updated. So then I'm like, okay, whatever. And then like I'm thinking after a couple minutes, I'm like, maybe I should check the website just in case. I don't know, I just had this feeling. So I check the website, on time, everything's good. And I'm like, I text Alyssa, and I'm like, are you sure our flight's delayed? Like, where'd she get this like information? She's like, oh, she said she got like a text. And I was like, oh, okay, that's weird, because like on the website and the app like says it's on time. So like, she's like, all right, let me text them. And then like 2 minutes later, I get a text back, and it's like, oh crap, that was for my flight, not yours. So like we were gonna like leave later based on this, and we almost missed the flight.
Oof.
Oh, it was close.
That's
but
tough.
They were like, oh, thank God, like Jacob like checked this, because we would have missed our flight.
Once again, the hero.
Yeah, it's whatever. I just doing my part.
Yeah.
So saved the day. But we got on the flight. It was good. The seats are a little uncomfortable on Frontier, but it wasn't bad. And I played a little on my iPad when I was on the plane. I watched a documentary about Manti Te'o.
Yeah.
I watched the first part of it. It was good. Highly recommend.
I liked it too.
It was good. But then we get to Florida, and it was a good time. We hung out with her family. We did, we went to a bunch of good eats, which is, that's what I like about them. We ate some good food. That's like, it's important to me, in a family. So we eat good food. So I had some good food. It was a good time. Usually when I travel, like, crazy things happen. So I'm glad that not a lot of crazy things happen.
Yeah.
But we had a good time. We went down to her college. I bought a sweatshirt.
Nice. Good for you.
Yeah.
Repping the Southeastern
Gotta rep the Southeast.
Lancers.
The Fire.
Fire, yep.
And let me tell you,
I knew it was
I'm
bad
looking
mascot.
fire in the new merch. You know what I mean? I knew it was a bad. Yeah. So I got that, and I saw around campus. Very beautiful time.
Where the campus?
Oh, both.
Nice.
Yeah, you like that? Yeah.
Yep.
So it was a good time. Yeah.
Tampa, right?
Went to the beach. It's right. It's like close to Tampa. It's like 45 minutes from Tampa, 45 minutes to an hour from Orlando.
That's cool. Nice.
Yeah,
right in
like,
between?
Yeah, kind of. Pretty much.
Yeah.
It's in Lakeland, Florida.
Oh, the Lakeland Flying Tigers.
Home
of the Lakeland Flying Tigers. That's right.
Yeah,
I know Lakeland.
Yeah, the Flying
Big
Tigers.
Lakeland guy.
Yeah.
Single A Detroit Tigers MLB affiliate. The Lakeland Flying Tigers. Coach Mike Rabello.
Oh my gosh, you animal.
No, Rabello's with the Washington Whitecaps now, or Michigan Whitecaps.
You're single A.
Yeah, single A baseball. It's kind of my thing. It's my passion.
That's wild.
No.
Anyways, it was a good time, and we went to the beach, and the sunset was like insane.
Was it like
Insane.
orange?
It was like orange, this big huge white cloud, but then it turned into like dark cloud with like lightning, like heat lightning, and there was a rainbow. Like it was all in one, like sunset, rainbow, lightning. It was all like crazy.
Very dope.
And we're just like chilling in the water. It was like 90 degrees, which was like nice, but also like not really refreshing. So not really, but it was a good time. Got a lot of food, got a lot of ice cream.
Nice.
But yeah, it just made me thankful, because there's so many times in my life where when I travel, it just goes haywire. You know, like I remember one time I was going to a wedding, and I think I might have mentioned this story, once before, but the part that just gets to me is like, I flew in the morning, and didn't really have any plan, but the wedding was that day, and I like got my once I got off the plane, I got the notification that like my car rental, right before I got on the plane, my car rental had been canceled.
Yeah.
And so then I had to like rent a car when I got there and like wait in line, and they didn't have any cars.
I remember this story.
Yeah, and then they upgraded me to a Mustang, and that was a good part. But then I just remember like how funny it was that like I was on the way to the wedding, and I was like, wait a second, how am I gonna get dressed?
Yeah.
And
that's tough.
Yeah, and so I was like, man, what am I gonna do? So I just like pulled off at this random Planet Fitness, and I walk in with like a suit and in my hand, and I'm like, hey, and she's like, oh, like you can just scan here, and I'm like, no, I don't go here.
In fact, I don't even live in this city.
And I was like, I actually just flew in. Can I change in the locker room? And she was like, do you have a membership? And I was like, no. But I just need to change into my suit in the locker room. Huh. And she was like, just give me your license. And then she just like held onto my license. Yeah. And then I actually forgot it.
Did you really?
And then I remembered about a half mile down the road, and I drove back.
That's good.
Which was good because, some random Planet Fitness in the middle of Virginia would have had my license for a long time. But I got it. But yeah, so anyways, no crazy travel stories like that where I had to just wing it. But I will say I was on the flight back. I was supposed to, so the seat arrangements on Frontier are just like random. Mm-hmm. And like sometimes they'll put people who book together. But what happened was my seat arrangement was with Alyssa's dad and her brother, and then her two sisters were in a different area, and then her mom was sitting by herself because she booked after. Yeah. But I was like, hey, I went to her mom. I was like, you can have my ticket and you sit with your husband and your son.
That's nice. And
I'll try to like switch and sit next to her sisters. Mm. But I was like the seat right behind them. And then like, their seat was empty, and like they were about to like take off, and we were like, oh, I can just sit there. And I was about to get up, and then this guy like runs on at the last minute, like the only seat on, and then his family was sitting in the row across.
So you couldn't ask.
So I couldn't ask. So I'm sitting there. That's fine. I'm sitting next to this lady and her daughter, and it's funny because like my first interaction with her is like not hello or anything. She's just like. She doesn't really speak that good English, but I'm in the window seat, right? And I'm sitting there, and she's just like, she like kind of gets close to me, and she's like, "Do you mind if I take picture?" And I'm thinking like of me, and I'm like, "Oh, I don't know what to say." Yeah. She's like, "Oh, out the window," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, yeah, for sure." And then instead of just like going kind of close to me and taking a picture out the window, she reaches her arm with her phone and like right here in front of my face, and is like taking, and she's like, she literally says, she's like, oh, video if you don't mind, and she's just like holding this phone in front of my face like this for at least a minute. Oh. And I'm just sitting there like with this lady's arm in my face, and I'm like, oh, okay. And then she's a really nice lady, whatever. It's not like she was really rude or anything. But it was funny because it was one of those situations where I don't know how you are on a plane, but like I don't really want to talk to you. Oh yeah, like I'm kind of like AirPods in, but like at this time I was just playing this game Retro Bowl. It's like a football video game on my iPad, so I don't have my headphones in yet. It's like early on in the flight, and I'm playing this game, so I don't have my AirPods in. Like I don't know why I repeated that. Idiot.
Did you have your AirPods in?
Yeah, I had my AirPods in, if you didn't know. But, so I'm just sitting there playing the game. No AirPods.
Got it.
All right, clear. And so she just starts talking to me. She's like, oh, do you
play football?
No, she's like, oh, visiting Florida or live there? Oh gosh! And so then I'm like, I'm visiting my girlfriend, and she's like, oh, you live in Hartford? Because we were flying to Hartford, and I was like, no, I live right outside of Hartford. She's like, oh, okay. And then I go back to my, and I'm playing a game, so I got to pause it to talk to her. So I go back to my game, and 2 minutes later, she's like, so what do you do for work?
Oh,
and I'm like, oh, I'm a sales manager. And she's like, oh, that's cool. Yeah, I went to Florida with my daughter. Bring her to Disney World for her birthday. And I'm like, oh, good. That's really fun. I love Disney. And at first I said I was like, oh, we didn't go to Disney. I was trying to say we didn't go to Disney.
Yeah.
She's like, you've never been to Disney? And I'm like, oh no, I have. But lots of times it's fun. And she's like, yeah, okay. The same thing. I go back to playing my game. Literally, it's like clockwork. 2 minutes later, she's like, so what kind of sales? I just want to talk. She says that, and I'm like, oh well, I work at a recruiting firm, and she's like, oh, recruiting. Oh, I used to be big recruiter, And I'm like, oh, that's cool. And she's like, yeah, so you recruit, right? You are kind of like recruiter. And I'm like, no, I'm on the sales side. She's like, but it's kind of like recruiting. And I'm telling you, bro, I was I could not have been more clear that I could have just told her, but I was just kind of I would answer and then I'd look back and I'm about to hit play on my game, but she kept talking, and then it was a game time decision. I had to go for it. I kind of felt a little rude and I kind of felt bad about it, but she kept asking me questions. And then, her daughter sitting next to her, asked her something, so she turned this way, and immediately it was like an action movie, slow-mo. I was, grabbing my AirPods, and I was, threw them in my ear, and I, quickly, I didn't even finish my game.
Yeah.
Quickly loaded up Netflix and started watching a movie. And I put it on, and she, turned around, and then she was just like, oh, okay, and then, didn't talk to me, and I was like, God.
Oh my
and
gosh.
Man, I tell you, I don't mind talking to people, but you're on a flight, what do you feel about that?
Oh yeah, don't talk to me. I don't want to talk to anybody. In fact, I would prefer if I never had to talk to anyone ever again anywhere. No, I'm totally kidding.
As we're talking on a podcast.
I know. Yeah, no. Sorry, I'm done. I'm quitting tonight.
Last pod, guys.
Yeah, I would rather not. Okay, here. I will talk to you on the plane for the first 10 minutes. After that, I want my alone time with my iPad.
Yeah.
And that's about where I'm at.
Jeffy wants his alone time.
I need that.
Dude, give
me my iPad and my book, and I'm good.
Yeah. I just don't understand, the purpose of it.
You
know what I mean? Like you said, the first 10 minutes, oh, did you guys have fun? Oh, cool. You'd be friendly. I'm down for that.
Me too.
But after that, what is the purpose of me knowing what you do for a living? I will never see you again. You know what I mean?
I get what you're saying. See, that I find interesting personally. So I'll say
no, quickly, cool. I'm a salesman. Oh, that's really cool.
Okay, and then stop it at that. I get what you're saying.
What this lady did. I'm not saying it was bad or anything, but it's just what is she gonna do with that? She will never. It's not like she's oh, this is Jacob from sales manager. You know what I mean? She's gonna get off the plane, go back to her house, and then never think about me ever again. You know what I mean?
That's true. I think it's cool to find out, seeing, we talked about last episode, seeing random people, and then you actually know what they do for work, and where they live and all that. And I think that's kind of cool. But like you said, I don't want to talk on the entire flight to anywhere with someone that I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
see, I just, I don't see the purpose in it. And I remember one time, this is a cool travel experience. I was traveling to Florida Disney World. And on, it was spring break or something like that. Yeah, spring break, my senior year. And my friend, this is actually really funny, my friend Kyle from college, he was like, oh, I'm going to be at Disney during spring break too. And I was like, oh, dude, we'll have to meet up. And he's like, oh, yeah, dude, for sure. And then he's like, we should carpool. When are you going to the airport? Which airport are you going to? And I was like, oh, Richmond. And he's like, dude, I'm going to Richmond. And I was like, no way. So I was like, dude, we should carpool. What time's your flight? And he's like, oh, it's on Friday. And I was like, mine too. And he's like, yeah, 6 p.m. And I was like, no freaking way. Wild. Dude, we were on the same flight. No joke. We weren't next to each other, but he was in the same aisle, just on the other side.
That's cool. That's
and
really
so
cool.
we were like, dude, we're driving together. We figured it out. We like got the flight number. Like it was funny. But then we got on the plane, and it was funny to me because he was sitting on the other side, and we asked the girl next to me. I was like, hey, do you mind? Like that's my buddy. Do you mind switching? Because they had the same seat, and he was an aisle and she was an aisle, and she was like, oh, no problem. Like I'd love to switch, and then she switched, and then the lady that was sitting next to Kyle on the other row literally did not stop talking the whole flight. Talked the whole entire flight, and we were joking about it, we were looking at each other, he was like, thank God you were on this plane, man, because and you could tell the lady was doing the same thing I was doing, she was reading her book, and every 2 seconds the lady would just keep talking to her, and but it wasn't pauses though. Yeah. This lady was reading a book as this lady was talking to her, and she was like, oh yeah. And I just I honestly felt so bad because I was I did that to her, you know what I mean? But I just I don't see the need for it. But
that would drive me nuts. There's nothing I'll read at night. Actually, Jess and I both like to read at night in bed, but sometimes instead she'll watch TikToks. It's hard enough for me to focus while she's watching TikToks on my book. Never mind when someone's actually trying to have a conversation with you while you're reading.
Yeah, it's big tough.
Yeah, don't talk to me on airplanes.
Yeah. How do you feel about the armrest situation on an airplane?
I usually just give it up. I usually just let the other person have it. Take one for the team.
Good for you.
But yeah, what about you?
I'm if it's there, it's open property. You know what I mean? So on the flight there, I was sitting next to Alyssa's brother, and then on the right of me was a random person, and because her dad has bad knees, and so he has to sit in the extra leg room space.
Yeah.
So I sat next to her brother instead, and then the guy next to me, he had put the armrest down and claimed it, and so I was like, all right, cool, he's got it, and then he went to the bathroom, and I was like, okay, this is mine now.
Oh, really?
So I put he has two, because he's on the aisle.
Yeah, that's
I'm in the middle, so I gotta fight for my arm,
That's probably the fair way to do it.
So then I put my arm there, and then he could tell, he sat down and went to go put it, and he was like, oh, and he's like, I'm sorry. And I was like, all right, yeah, good, yeah, I know you're sorry.
That's tough.
And then I remember I went this, where I pulled my arm down, and I was doing something on my phone, so the front part of the armrest was open, and he claimed it.
Did he take it?
Yeah, he took it.
Wow.
And so I was, and it wasn't aggressive, it was just kind of subconsciously, after a second, he put his arm down, and I was like, all right, so we're gonna share.
Interesting.
I'm okay with
I've never done that. That sounds intimate, is what it sounds.
Yeah, we were it was kind of flirty, I was I bumped into him and be oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
It's oh, so where are you headed? No, he was actually watching Jim Gaffigan on his phone.
Cool, respect.
And I respected that. So I kind of you do one of those things where you both have headphones in, and I'm sitting there and I'm looking over at what he watches, and he's he notices that, and he looks over, and I'm like yeah, give the head nod / laugh, and I'm it's good stuff, and he's like yeah.
Yeah.
And then you kind of look separate ways. That's kind of how we were. So I kind of miss him, honestly.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah, he was a good guy.
Maybe you could find him someday.
He had a nice dress shirt on. Looks like he was going for business something in Orlando.
Solid jawline, all that.
Oh yeah. He ordered some alcohol on the plane, which
oh wow,
on a Frontier flight is man, you're a big baller over here.
He's a player.
Yeah.
So what do you do on a flight usually? What's your go-to?
It depends on the time of the flight.
Okay, say this is a yikes.
What are you
5:45 p.m. flight.
5:45
p.m. Yep.
Have I eaten?
Yes, you
right,
ate.
So I'm
in the food court beforehand.
Okay, so if I did eat and I had a pretty good meal, usually I'm a little sleepy. So
a little sleepy.
So I try to if it's around dinner time and I just ate and I'm sitting in the seat, I usually try to take a little nap. But if I can't, I'll normally try to watch a movie.
Okay.
I download them on my iPad and then I watch them on the flight. But if I didn't eat and I'm kind of like energetic, and I'll like snack on something, and I'll usually like I'll start off the flight playing a game, and then I'll like transition into a movie.
That's nice. That's nice.
But usually if it's any later than that, it's like music and sleep. Like I'll put music in my AirPods and just sleep, or like movie and sleep. And then if it's before that time, usually it's like I'm doing something, like I'm rearranging something or looking through my photos, like something active, you know.
In what position do you sleep on the plane?
Usually like your dad just got home from a long day of work, just grabs a sody pop.
Yep.
Plops on the couch to watch his favorite team play, and falls asleep with his head cocked back and mouth open.
All right.
Usually that's where I'm at. But sometimes it's arm on the shoulder or on the armrest, leaning into it. But the only problem with that is your wrist kills.
Oh yeah, you can't do that for too long.
And for me, like, it actually happened to me on the flight there. I was watching that documentary and I started to doze off, and the only reason I woke up is because I could feel my AirPod like drifting away, and immediately I like woke up and I caught it in my hand, and I was like, "That's good."
Boy, that AirPod could have gone a long way.
Oh yeah, that's why I was nervous about it. It woke me right up.
So when I sleep on the plane, 95% of the time I'm like this.
Doesn't that hurt your back?
Yeah, but it's just so comfortable for sleeping on a plane. So like I will bend over forward all the way, almost as if my head is in between my knees.
Yeah. Kind of like one of those birds that sticks their head in the ground.
Yeah, just like that. Yeah. That's how I sleep on a plane. Also, I twitch a lot in my sleep, so it becomes a little bit of an issue if I'm sleeping next to someone that doesn't know me.
Yeah.
Because I'll
is this guy okay?
I will like hit people like next to me. I'll like my arm will just like flail out and I'll hit somebody.
That's good.
Or like I'll start to talk a little bit and like make noises.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I've always wondered if like people sleepwalk on planes. I guess the seatbelt would kind of
have your seatbelt on.
Yeah, that's
but
true.
You don't have to all the time.
Yeah, that's wild. Yeah, one time when I was on a plane, I had like sleep paralysis.
Oh really?
You know how freaky that is, bro? Dude, I remember I was on my way. I think I was on my way back from Colorado, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm like, I had like fallen asleep, like I kind of said, but my head was like forward.
Yeah.
Because it fell forward.
Nice.
And I'm laying like this with my head forward, my seat back, and I like had woken up, but like I couldn't open my eyes. But I can hear I know it's real life because I can hear people talking on the plane. I can hear they're like, we're going into our final descent. It's sunny and 45. Thank you so much for flying JetBlue today.
Aren't those beautiful words to hear?
Yeah.
Anyways, continue.
Yeah. So I can hear that, so I know it's real. And like I literally could not move.
Oof.
Couldn't move my mouth. I couldn't speak. Couldn't move my arms. I'm like, it's like, you know, when you just close your eyes and like you can only see the back of your eyelids, obviously. Yeah. And I couldn't move anything. And that was for like 20 minutes.
20 minutes?
Dude, freaking 20 minutes.
Oh, come on, really?
I'm pretty sure because he said like the final descent, like we'll be there in 30. And by the time I got up, we were like pretty much almost landed.
So you were consciously not able to move,
dude. It was
or talk
for
20 minutes.
So freaky, bro. Around 20 minutes.
Wow.
Like minimum 15.
That's insane.
And
you're sure?
Dude, I'm like positive. And like the like it was so weird. And like what I had, like finally, and it was like one of those things where like I was trying to, but couldn't. And I was like, and all I could think was like, these people are gonna think I'm dead if like we land the plane and I can't get up.
But then you'll have help, so that would be good.
Just cart me off and like
in a body bag.
I know.
All right, take him to the morgue.
Yeah,
this guy's not moving. Yeah. I don't know.
I'm calling it. It's like my pulse is still going though. Dude, it was weird. And then randomly, like I just like jumped out of it. And
That's
you should have
insane.
seen the person sitting next to me was like so like caught off guard because
Yeah.
like I was perfectly still, nothing moving, and then all of a sudden I was like, and the guy next to me was like just you could tell he was like, is this guy okay? And I just remember like the whole time I was like after that I was like twitching a little bit. I was like moving my arms.
Yeah.
I was like, man, am I okay? And I knew it was like not me just sleeping or dreaming because like everything was like had matched up.
Oh my gosh.
It was wild.
That's never happened to me. Does that happen to you?
That's
Like,
only
often?
happened that one time.
The sleep paralysis?
Yeah. Actually, no,
Pretty
it happened to
common.
me in bed once
Mm.
for like a couple minutes before I woke up. But like that's the only other time. And I looked it up and like I couldn't really figure out why. But it's like a real thing that people...
Oh yeah,
like,
no,
that
it's
happens to
actually kind of common.
people. So
I don't think I'd
was,
be able to handle that.
dude, it was wild. Like in bed it wasn't as scary because I was just like, whatever.
See, to me that would be more scary because there's no one here to save me.
But like what are they going to do? You couldn't... Like,
Yeah, but they
you couldn't-
can-
But they would just think you're sleeping because you can't speak it. It's like,
But
it's like you'd
but-
be like, help!
Mm.
I've fallen and can't get up!
If it happened to you here, no one would find you for days. But if it happened to you on the airplane,
Yeah,
they
but
would
then
think you were
it'd be
sleeping.
It would be
when
less
you land.
embarrassing.
I don't care about that. I just need some help, man.
But like if I'm just like they're just like, excuse me, sir, we need to deplane right now. we need to get the next people on, and I'm just sitting there like this. Like they're gonna think I'm dead.
But they will shake you and they'll notice that you're breathing but not waking up, and they will get you to some medical care.
But then like I'd be like, let's just pretend I'm on a stretcher.
Hmm.
Like they're bringing me to medical care, and then I just jump up and I'm like, all right, guys, I'm good, and then I just get off and leave.
Well, they would probably make you go.
Yeah, but they can't hold me legally.
Yeah, I know.
I like to see them try.
Trust me, I know. I've had people tell me that I can't hold them.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I would. It's just not being around anyone would freak me out, and not being able to move or talk or do anything. Like that's like a nightmare.
Dude, it was crazy.
Yeah.
Like I hope that never happens to me again. But
That's insane.
yeah, it was wild.
Before we get out of here, I think we should do a quick NFL prediction, seeing as how the season starts today, as this airs Thursday. So, who do you got in the Super Bowl? And give me your Pats record prediction, and then give me your Super Bowl teams and who wins.
Bro, is this the Post Up Sports podcast?
I know,
right now?
we're
throwing it
professionals.
back, my
Throwing it
guy.
back. I am.
All right, yeah. So my Super Bowl prediction,
Mm-hmm.
man. Just because I hate the Bills, like I could see the Bills doing it because they have like a top 3 defense and top 3 offense.
Yeah.
But because I hate them and I love Tom Brady so much, I'm wearing the TB12 sweatshirt right now.
I see that. Yeah.
You got this. Jeff got me this for my birthday, Christmas.
Yeah, I think so. I think your birthday. Yep.
2 years. No, maybe Christmas.
Mm.
I don't remember.
One of them.
But I think the Bucks could do it. They got enough weapons. They still got a good running back in Lenny, big fat Lenny. Their offensive line's not bad. Their defense is pretty good. It's Tom Brady, bro. He's going all in.
The Bucks scare me though because of Tom Brady, because of the rumors swirling around him and his leave of absence from the Bucks this training camp season.
Yeah, but he's the GOAT, bro, and
I'm not doubting him. I'm just saying, like, I've never been less sure.
Really.
Yeah.
I just feel like after the season, like he should have won MVP last year. His numbers were insane. He was like first in almost every category for
Yeah, he should have won the
quarterbacks.
MVP.
And I just feel like after that season, and then on top of that, with those rumors, I mean, it's kind of like I feel like those things like fuel him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the
I
same.
agree with that.
It's the same thing with like I hate to say this, but like LeBron James in the first round of the playoffs.
True.
Like there's so many years where I'm like, I hate LeBron. He's not going to make it past the first round of the playoffs this year. And every year, like he's never lost in the first round.
Yeah.
So like now, even though I hate him, I'll never bet against him in the first round because, the same thing with Tom Brady. Like, it's more likely that Tom Brady makes the Super Bowl and Steph Curry hits a 3-pointer.
Yeah. It's insane.
Statistically.
It's insane.
So like that stat with that alone, especially with his last year, kept like maybe not his last year, but one of his last years. Like we're so unsure. Like he's giving it all he's got. He's leaving it all out there, just like he always does, and I just think that's it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my prediction, and then my Pats record. What is there now? Because they added another game because of like COVID and stuff. So there's 18, right? But there's only there's 18 weeks, but 17 games.
That's correct. Yes.
So I would probably say, I'm going 10-7, bro.
I could see that happening. Okay, respect. I respect that. So they make the playoffs as a wild card.
I think they make the playoffs as a wild card, and probably get beat the first round.
Yeah.
I could be
That'd be a good
like
year
Mac doesn't really look as good as I thought he was going to be, so but I'm going to have some optimism there. Yeah. I feel like the Pats always find a way to get it done.
They do. They're never really bad.
Yeah, do your job, baby. Let's go.
Billy B. So I'm going to say my team is the Eagles. I could see them going all the way this year. I could. I think they're going to win 10 to 12 games, and they will go make a deep playoff run. I think they'll be in the NFC Championship. But I don't know that they'll go to the Super Bowl. I think it's going to be the Bills, and then probably I want to pick the Packers, but I'm leaning Cardinals as well.
Cardinals?
So I'm kind of torn, yeah. I think
really?
Cardinals could be good, yeah.
Kyler Murray is a bum in the playoffs.
He's not a bum. Okay, well, last year, but he's coming for heads this year.
He choked hardcore, bro.
He did choke.
He doesn't even watch film.
Hey,
can't trust him, bro.
I mean,
can't trust him.
There's a clause in his contract, so
no, but they got rid of that.
Film.
They got rid of that.
He'll watch his film.
I don't know, man. They send him blank tapes, and he.
Yeah,
that's actually mad funny.
It is funny, but it's not at the same time.
It kind of is. It is bad. But like, imagine like you're just like you get paid millions of dollars, and the coach is like, "Hey, like make sure you're watching film." He's like, "Oh, I do." Send him blank tapes. So he's like, "Yeah, I like this play." That's like, man, that's funny.
Yikes. Yeah. All right, want to hit it?
Yeah, let's hit it. Please rate and subscribe as always. Mm-hmm. We do appreciate it. We appreciate all you guys listening to the pod. Watch our reels, comment on them, like them. Let us know if you think they're funny. Send them to your friends. I don't know. Just watch them. All right?
Yep.
But other than that, you can find us on How I Met My Brother Pod that's our at. And then How I Met My Brother Pod at gmail.com. Send us some funny emails. Send us death threats. Just email us, please.
That would be funny. I would enjoy that, a death threat or two.
Yeah, do whatever you got to do to send that email, So.
All right.
Yeah.
Peace out.
A-Town.